3, which is organization analysis. Organization analysis. That's what we are going to be looking at. I'm sure in my last interaction with you, we discussed business environment, and you will agree with me that we differentiate between internal and external environment. Of course, the internal environment are those things that are within the organization that can really change, that we can really control. The organization can control whatever is within its employees, to some extent its customer, and you also talk of external environment, which no organization has a power over. You have to adapt to what is happening in the environment. You have to adapt to what is happening in the environment. So that is looking at the external environment. Today, we are going to be looking at analyzing the organization. That means we want to look at the organization. How do we analyze the strength and weakness, or strengths and weaknesses of the organization? That's what is before us this morning. You need to know your capacity. You need to know your capability. You need to know what you have and what you don't have. You need to know what type of competition you can face in terms of what is the quality of staff, the resources, money, and all the rest that organization has. And so that's why we're saying that for purpose of our introduction, for any organization to compete effectively and efficiently, there is need for self-appraisal to discover its strengths and weaknesses within its industrial sector. Usually you talk of industrial sector, you must belong to a specific sector. Is it textile sector? Is it banking sector or banking industry? So you want to know who are the operator there, what are their strengths, what advantage do you have over them, what are your area of capability. So all of these things are part of what needed to be done. So we're looking at internal analysis, ability to assess ourselves, to see how we can face competition in our area of operation. We are competing with others. The same services that we are offering, they are also offering similar things. And therefore, we want to know what are those areas that we have gained strength over and above our competitors. So that's a business strategy. Talking of a business strategy, to outrun your competitors, to top the performance criteria. So we, by the grace of God, the learning objective or the learning outcome, by the time after we have studied this particular session, we should be able to explain organizational appraisal and different analysis models. Then discuss framework for the development of strategic advantage, explain the sources of organizational capability, then identify method technique of organization appraisal. Of course, this is a slide presentation, so we're just going to do a brief discussion of all of this. So one will expect immediately after our interaction, you go back to your study section 3 to go and look at details of some of the things that we are just going to be mentioning as we go in this. Internal environment and organization, like we have said, and I want you to have at the back of your mind, internal environment is what is under the control of the organization. It is under the control of the management of the organization. So organization analysis is an attempt to assess and evaluate the resources, behavior, strength and weaknesses, synergy and competence of an organization with a view to determine its capability that will lead to its strategic competitive advantage. That's basically what organization analysis is all about. If you want to fight an opponent in boxing, you need to have watched, you need to have looked at the strengths. Are you in the same category in terms of weight and all of that? So the same thing an organization that needs to be able to look at what are the resources that are available, what are the behavioral pattern, how do we do things, what are our internal governance, how do we look at our, and how do we synergize such that we'll be able to also compete favorably in the market. We want to know how competent are we. So all of these will determine our capability, our strengths, our capability and our strengths. So that's what will determine it. So analysis is very important. Football team, that's why you also have people maybe in the group 1, group 2, group 3, want to look at whose strength are these that can match themselves. So analysis is very, very critical, including even as learners. There's need for us to assess ourselves. How easy do I assimilate or get to understand? You need to assess yourself. So if you feel you don't get things on time, maybe you start your studying much earlier than others. So ability to assess yourself, assess your organization, it's very critical in the success of running organization. Other definition is organizational pressure can also be seen as the process by which an organization's system, capacity, and functionality are assessed in order to increase its efficiency, performance, and output. Specifically, it aims at clear understanding of behavioral relationship structure and technology. Of course, that's Wikipedia 2013. So, if you talk of one of the reasons for organizational appraisal is to increase your efficiency. You want to know where you are weak, and when you discover where you are weak, how do you improve on the areas of your weakness? Where you have strength, how do you continue to build more so that you don't relax, so that you'll be able to have a clear understanding of the market under which you are operating. We're operating in a merciless environment. There is always this opportunity of I want to do better than my competitor so that I will gain more market share than others. So it is the intention of any organization to be counted as one of the leading organizations within the sector where they operate. And so it is very important for this internal analysis. The other definition is basically looking at the same thing from this different perspective. So it is the ability to actually know and understand your strength. Now, there is other mood when you talk of organizational appraisal. There are people who want to operate within their faith, that is within their capability. We want to restrict ourselves. We want to make use, we want to do it, we want to do the take a decision, we want to do within the resources that we have. And so, and we call it strategic fit. Strategic fit, it suggests that the firm adjusts its strategy according to the fit or alignment between strength and weakness, opportunity and threat. In other words, it is a way of positioning a firm by matching its organizational resources to its ambition. So this is what we have, and we want to operate within what we have. That's a decision of an organization. That's a decision of an organization. We don't want to bother ourselves. We don't want to do more than what we are capable of doing, while others are looking at, no, we are here now, but we can actually move up. Even if we don't have, we can borrow. Even if we don't have, we can take loan. Even if we don't have, we can look for a way of doing some things. So strategy suggests the ambition should be trimmed to match available resources. We want to operate within what we have. We don't want to put our heart up. We don't want to we don't want to do this, we don't want to do that. So strategic fit is a conservative interpretation of strategic management. people that are conservative. Now look, I don't want to put myself in problem. I want to operate within what I have. So most managers that adopt strategic fit are mostly risk averse. So they run away from risk. They don't want to take unnecessary risk. Always ready, always not ready to take risk. They want to minimize as much as possible their risks. And I can assure you that most business endeavor are done at a risk. So, but strategic fit want to cut its coat according to its size. Leveraging resources on strategic intent. Now, when you talk of strategic intent, what exactly are we saying? There is a determination, there is an intention, there is a vision, there is a goal that we have set for ourselves, and we will allow nothing to stop us from attaining that strategy we have set for ourselves. So, in that way, we can go ahead and gather resources, whether borrowing from bank or friends, or looking for a way to ensure that we actually do what we intend to do. We have a vision, we don't have the resources, but there's a vision that if we are able to, can get there and we'll pay up whatever we have done. So when you talk of strategic intent, it is a higher level of operation in an organization that desire a greater and better. Then suggest that resources should be leveraged to achieve in the term strategic intent. Then leverage refers to concentrating and recovering resources in such a manner that a meager resources that an organization dare to have. So that even what you have now, you want to stretch, you want to, maybe organization come produce during the day alone, just a shift. In order to meet aspiration, you may want to stretch the facilities and begin to create a 3-shift morning, afternoon, and night, such that you'll be able to meet that what you have, you want to stretch it, and as we are getting more and producing more, you are able to get additional resources, because the more the output you have, the more sales you make, the more you are likely to bring in resources. And so you probably want to, even though we are not yet there, but we can increase the number of our salesperson, we can increase the hours of our operation to ensure that we meet up our targets and the desire of our clients and customers. Then the firm increases its strength or looks for ways to use its strength to overcome weaknesses and threat, and to take advantage of opportunity. Leveraging resources and aggressive interpretation of strategic management. So these are people that are aggressive, and when you see aggressive managers of resources, you find out that the organization seems to grow better than others because they are aggressive about whatever they are doing. They are aggressive about whatever they are doing. And then leveraging resources on strategic intent also encompass not only on inner ambition, but management process that include focusing the organization or attention on winning. At any point in time, we know we are capable, we can win at all times. We want to move ahead, we have a clear vision of where we are going. They have the capability of motivating people by communicating the value of targets. Look, if we are able to accomplish this target, this is a value added to our organization, and this is a value added to people that are being motivated. So when you motivate people, when you encourage them, when you let them see the future, what you hold for the organization and for themselves, so that prompts people to do extraordinary. Then leaving room for individual and team contribution. So we also we want people to bring in their own ideas to suggest the way forward and what could be done to really move move up. So then sustaining enthusiasm by providing new operational definition and circumstances change. So things that are changing, the new remuneration or the new things that staff will benefit when we get to a level, and as soon as we get to that level, meet the target, you find out that the management respect their promises, and so all of these combined together will enable an organization with a strategic intent. That is, what they don't have capacity, simply don't have capacity to take advantage of certain development within the society to get there. So all of this we will put together. Then using intent consistently to guide resources allocation. So resources allocation are not just giving we show the direction, which area do we need more investment that will enable us to move up or move higher in terms of achievement. Now, one of the key things in strategic intent is organizational learning. So, and of course, if you also look at what we are looking at, we are trying to look at internal analysis or organizational analysis. Organizational analysis, why are we analyzing? Why are we evaluating ourselves? Why are we evaluating ourselves? Because we want to learn. It leads us to enable us to be able to know who we are without covering up. We want to know who exactly we are. So in organization, as long as you are trying to find out, analyzing yourself, and by the grace of God, by next year, you are moving on to your final year. What is your CGPA now? Have you been able to sit down and look at what you had in year 1, year 2, year 3, now you're in year 4? What is going to be your GPA by the time you are rounding up your year 4? What are the weaknesses? What are those disadvantages? What are those things that have taken up your time in your year 1? If you are doing so well, what have you done to enable you do well? So you are learning, and through those things you are learning, you are improving yourself, because when you discover your area of weakness, you want to work on it. If you discover you don't study like others, if you need to do extra, bringing your colleagues together to form a group, you need to begin to reappraise yourself, how you have done it. Those who have done it, what is their result compared with your own? So when you talk of organizational learning, you are talking of a systematic discovery by the organization of the need to interact with the environment so as to acquire the necessary knowledge, trigger appropriate skill to achieve a desirable competitive advantage. You are seeing other organizations doing better than you. You see some of your colleagues doing better than you. What are they doing better that makes them to do better? So that you want to learn from what they are doing to do better. So, and that's the spirit. That's the spirit. It is not good. We are not the same. We are not created the same way. So let him be doing his own that way. Many times such people remain stagnated when you are not moved by what is happening around your environment. Then Townsend and Gibbard identify 3 words that together form a cycle of learning. They are investigating, identifying, and institutionalizing. And so, investigating, what you don't know, you want to know, and you want to identify that out of all of this stands out. You want to identify the way to go, and then by the time you know that this is the way to go, that will enable you to succeed in your business, you institutionalize it. It becomes the culture of the organization. It becomes your culture. If you institutionalize, if you investigate your performance, let's specifically go direct to you. When you investigate your performance, maybe your current business, you are investigating. You want to look at it. Why are we doing the way we are doing? Can we do much more than we're doing? Is there a way we can move further? also apply to your study. You want to identify what are those things that are not making us to improve, what are those things that are not making us to move up. Then you identify them, and when you identify them, you either remove them or improve or change the pattern. And once they identify that these are the things that are bringing us down, these are things that will take us up, so we leave those things that can bring us down and follow that which will take us up. And then it becomes our behavior, it becomes our behavioral pattern. We begin to do that. So investigating the situation, identifying failures and successes, and you gather appropriate information and be willing to use it. Ready to use all the available information that is at your disposal. And finally, you institutionalizing the lesson so that it becomes the way things are done in the organization. So that because we have discovered a new way of doing things, discover a new way of making greater impact and have a larger share of the market, we want to make sure we institutionalize, we establish it, we guide it jealously so that we can always be be at a competitive advantage over our competitors. Now, what are the organizational tools? We are going to be reading these details in your module. So we talk of rational model, natural system model, socio-technical model, and cognitive model. So all of these things we are going to be looking at them in details in your module. Then development of strategic advantage framework. How do we develop strategic advantage? You want to be an advantage in your areas of operation. How do you develop them? According to Kazim, 2004, it developed 6 frameworks through which management can climb the ladder of strategic advantage in a competitive environment. Number 1 is organizational resources. So to develop strategic advantage, we want to look at what are the resources this organization we need to analyze. How many machines, what's their capacity, what can they do, how often, how strong are these resources. You talk of financial resources, you talk of human resources, you talk of materials, you talk of facilities and all manner of things that will enhance organizational productivity or service, effective service rendering. So all of this, you want to look at them, you need to assess all that you have, all the vehicles in the company, the machine, and all other equipment that are used for the copy, typing, and all manner of resources that are available. And then you want to also look at the organizational behavior. How do people relate? What are the organizational pattern of communication? What do they do? What are those things that human behavior we need to interact, to synergize? For us, if we are working as an organization, we must work our objective, our goal must be subjected to the goal of the organization that we work for. And so reflect that. Not hiding information for ourselves, but trying to expose whatever we have learned to do. We do not want to take glory. We want to work as a team. And we, in that organization, are we talking of a team spirit where everyone exposes information that can be of help to organization who don't want to just take glory. There are many people working in organization that they have what it will help every other person to do well, but they are not ready to expose because they have been winning the best performers. The best performer in the organization. The secret of that best performer is not releasing it to others to also learn from what he is doing right and better that others could also do. So the organization behavior component is very important. Then strength and weaknesses. We must be able to be truthful to ourselves. That where we know we don't have strength, we don't begin to pretend as if we have strength. There, where we don't have strength, we don't need to So, and where we identify our weaknesses, we don't need to remain weak in that area. What can we do to improve whatever we are doing? So, and then synergistic effect. How are we bringing all our strengths together? How do we synergize? How do we ensure that even the areas of our weaknesses we try as much as possible to reduce it and improve drastically and change the normal, so that we can move forward. And then we talk of competencies. To what extent have we been able to build competencies in all our areas of operation in terms of our production processes, distribution processes? What are the competencies that we show that even when customers comes around, they can see that, look, at any point in time, just pick any of the staff of that organization, you get the best that you want. So you find out that the competencies in all areas of operation, financial competency, organizational competency, production competence, and all of that bring about what we call the organizational capability. So the ability of organization to do so. We will be able to look at see and behold with that which the organization can really is capable of doing, so that they already know what exactly they want. And then sources of organizational capability. So what are the sources of organizational capability? Like I've said, you talk of financial capability. A financial capability is the ability to gather the required financial resources, money, and a number of things that you need to acquire most of the things that the organization will require. Strategic marketing capability. How strategic are we in our marketing activity? How well trained are the staff? What are the exposure? What are our marketing strategy? What are those things that we are doing and we want to do it differently, unlike others? So we want to do it differently, we want to do it uniquely. So, and that is going to be our source of organizational capability. We also want to look at operational capability in terms of the quality of what we produce, our input, the output that we are releasing. To what extent do we also always discover fault in whatever we do? When there are challenges with customer, how do we come in? We also talk of personnel capability. What is the quality of the knowledge of those people that are working within the organization? What are the plans and programs to equip and train them to give their best to the organization? All this information management capability. This is part of what I was saying the other time when I talk about teamwork. Information management is very important. Giving information, obtaining information at the right time, and utilizing it without delay is very key to organizational success. Everybody is aware what is happening presently, and then you also want to talk on general management capability. The general management, the management at the top, to what extent are they allowing the management down the line to also be carried along in whatever policies the organization is undertaking? To what extent are they requesting for the contribution of others also to the management of the organization? All of these are key. They are source of organizational capability. So, method of organizational appraisal. How do we appraise organization? How do we appraise the organization? So, one is internal analysis, and this internal analysis has to do with the value chain analysis. Now, what do we call value chain analysis? Value chain analysis is that for every memo that comes before you, or for every assignment that come before you. It come before you because you are expected to add a value. Your boss may receive a request and he may ask you to make a comment. The comment is the value you are adding based on your knowledge and exposure. So it will be in terms of production and your research and your research department, your research and development department still continue to analyze your current product. And so the discovery or method of changing and doing previously, it's also a way of value chain analysis. So we need to begin to look at how when memo go from 1, 2, 3, 4 person, what are the value they are adding to that memo? Or a draft of letter is written by somebody and you are asked to proofread and check whether it is accurate, whether it's communicating what the organization intend to put across to people. So these are some of the things that you talk about when you talk about value chain analysis. So what is the value you are adding to your organization? What are the value the education you are having now is adding to your life? Before when you were year one, what has changed in the way you do things, the way you think, the way you contribute to issues based on the level of your level of education. As your education improves, people expect more from you than what you have. And so then quantitative analysis. Quantitative analysis is also looked at. Those things that are tangible that you can, in terms of quantity, you want to look at what are our output before now, what is our output now. And then you also want to look at qualitative. There are things that you may not be able to measure, but they are also important. You also talk of historical analysis. Historical analysis takes you back to where you are coming from. How long ago have you been operating? You also want to delve into history of similar organizations, maybe organizations that have gone ahead of you. You also want to look at their history, so that you want to learn from what others, mistakes and errors people have made in the past. You also want to learn from all of that. Then you also talk of industrial norms. You need to understand the norms, the practices where you are operating, where you are competing. We are Distant Learning Institute, University of Lagos. There are so many other distant learning institutions that they are springing up. So we already have competitors. We need to be aware of what is happening in those various other organizations. And we also need to buckle up so that we will not lose our own customer to our competitors. So we need to be familiar with what has happened, what is happening, and the rate at which people are going. What is the industry like? What is the industry we are operating? What is it like? What is it like? Then benchmarking. Of course, in benchmarking, what we are trying to do, look at in benchmarking is similar to what I've already explained. We may want to do a research and look at what are the kind of courses that DLI is offering, Ibadan is offering, IFE is offering, ABU and several other institutions that have a similar program like us. We want to compare what is the number of people that we are able to, students we have, what are the number of students they have. If we have more students than them, what are the advantages? What are those things? Is it in terms of the quality of our teaching? Is it in terms of the amount of money learner pay? Is it because results come out regularly as at when due? So we want to benchmark, we want to look at what is among all our competitors, what position are we? What position? So if somebody is already 90% and another person is 50%, that means the one of 50% benchmarking, it is either falling below the expected, the minimum expected, or is above even the line. Standing out, becoming a leader in that market. So benchmarking is very, very important. It is comparing your organization with all other same sector where you are operating. And so your appraiser is not just appraising yourself, but you also want to look at, you also want to delve into what others are doing. Yes, you want to know their position, you want to have an idea of what is their market share in the area where you are operating. You want to look at that. So, and that is very, very important in organizational appraisal. Then you also have comprehensive analysis. Comprehensive analysis is balanced scorecard. You will see details of that, and then key factor rating. So you want to look at the key factors that sustains organization. You want to look at those key factors and then appraise them in terms of what you are and where you are and where you need to be. So you also want to balance scorecard. You also want to look at different areas to see that are we balancing our financial prudency? Are we balancing it with our staff development? Are we becoming too stingy in training and in exposing? So you want to look at the various things that you need to do to get the organization. Training your staff, you are not doing your staff favor. You are doing them a favor, but you are also doing the organization much favor, because once you train them and they are well remunerated, their loyalty to the organization will increase, and their contribution to the organization will also improve. Sorry, I will reopen the screen sharing now. So I think I pressed something by mistake here. So comprehensive analysis. Okay, I think that's the end of the slide. So I want us to interact on some of the things that we have said now. I hope I will hear you now. I don't know why I'm not hearing. So hello. So please, since I'm not hearing you, maybe you can just put your question on the chat box. Put your question on the chat box. Let me see so that I can respond to them. Okay. So let me hear you.
Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, can you hear us now? Okay, sir.
Yes, I'm hearing you now.
Okay, sir.
So
You can ask your questions.
So please ask your question or contribution. don't see any hand up. Oh.
Hello, good morning, sir. Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Lucky, sir.
Yes, good morning. I'm hearing you.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir, for today's lecture. It's wonderful, sir. So in terms of benchmarking, you talked about benchmarking.
Yeah.
Is there any
Yeah.
particular benchmark that's given maybe by the government or the economic bodies to be used to rate a particular industry? For example, maybe the financial sector. Is there any particular score
Yes.
that can be used so that a particular, maybe for example, if I want to delve into that organization, I can use that as my benchmark too?
Yeah. You see, the benchmark is not something that is fixed per se. What is done is that when every organization annually put up their annual report of performance, that's where you obtain the data. For example, in the banking sector, you want to look at the performance of banks in Nigeria. All of them will bring their annual report out at a specific time. And so, as students and as researchers in the university, those that are in the banking sector, they do their research by gathering all of those data. So they look at the total form mobilized into the bank, the number of credit facility given out, the profit before tax, and then you now begin to compare their customer base. So when you look at is the best performing bank in Nigeria. Now, if they now want to look at various sectors that they release fund to for investment, maybe in agriculture, in exploration and all of that. They may now say, okay, First Bank is better in this area of investment than GTB in this area. Whereas there might be another area that GTB is better maybe for financing entrepreneurship. So it is not as if anybody fixed it. It is the performance of each organization that are put together through research. So organizations will also have their own research within, so that when reports of other banks are coming out, they are also looking at it. What is the total number of staff they have? How many staff did they sack? What is the level of embezzlement that are taking place? Look at, okay, where are we in the industry? So it is not that somebody will just fix this is it. It is the performance of the various organizations within an industrial sector that their data are obtained. The data are obtained and then analyzed so that they will be able to see that, okay, this is the highest performing bank in Nigeria as at 2020. And that's why we find out that such position is not stagnant. It will be this bank this year, another bank next year, because you cannot just say what challenge you may have that I may have. So that's the way benchmarking is done. It's not that it is fixed. It is not fixed. It is determined every year based on the performances of the various organizations. I don't know if I've...
yeah, thank you very much.
You have answered your question, Lucky.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
I would have loved to ask more, but let others ask, sir. Thank you, sir.
You said?
I would have loved to ask more questions, but let others contribute, sir.
No, because I don't see any other hand. So if you have any other one, let me know. Right, there's no other hand I'm seeing here.
Talking about information management capabilities, sir, that's under source of organizational capability.
Okay.
Now, you talked about when a particular person, because he wants to be the best performing staff in the company all year round, every year. Don't you think, sir, that particular person's trying to keep away some information from his co-worker, because you talk about individual and team contribution when it comes to strategic fits. So don't you think that particular person is actually derailing the company's efforts or as a team going forward?
Yeah. That's why you see. That's why we organization should be wise. That you probably have a policy that you don't reward individual, but you reward teamwork. And so in the team, so you ask the team if you have different team, you are in charge of this, you are in charge of this, and so there will be a comparison among our own team. We want to be unique in our own performance. In your own team, you want to be unique in your own performance, and all of us are rewarded. One way or the other, we are rewarded. So, and once we are rewarded, all of us as a team are rewarded. So we are able to move ahead. So, but when you begin to reward individual that the best performing staff this year is this, and it continue to be the same, but you have not asked him, okay, what are you doing? What is the secret to why you are able to do it? Oh yeah, come and anchor a training, and we pay you for training others. That means you want to deliberately want others to also have same quality of the one who has been winning the best staff performing in the last 3-4 years. So the organization must also be awake to ensure that you promote more of teamwork than an individualistic approach to business management and all of that.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that, sir.
So, let me give another person a chance.
All right, sir.
Yeah, Tosin. Chinwe Tosin.
Good morning, sir.
All right, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Sir, based on the last slide that you just finished explaining, my question is that can we call that the external analysis? The last slide, the comprehensive analysis, can we say those are the external analysis of the organization? That's my question.
What we are saying here is we are talking of internal analysis. We are still basically looking at internal analysis. And when you are analyzing yourself internally, what do you compare your performance with your performance? You compare your performance with other people's performance. So whether you like it or not, while you are doing your internal analysis, it also detail into getting information, other information within the environment. Because whatever you are doing in your organization is not restricted, you are affecting the society. So even getting how capable you are, your capability, you also want to relate with your customers and ask them to criticize you. Tell us where we are not doing well so that we can improve. So that's a learning organization. Are you together?
Yes, sir.
Are we together?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We are together, okay.
So, sir, sorry, is there anything like external analysis? Do we also have external analysis?
Definitely, there is external analysis. There is external analysis. There is external analysis. And when you are looking at external analysis, you are actually looking at, like I've told you in the first lecture in our, I think the second lecture we had, or interaction, we talked of environmental analysis, and now we talk of internal and external. So the external analysis is also there, and you want to, like what I said, you want to look at in your own industry, you want to look at the performances of all organizations here, but outside your own industrial domain, you also want to know what is happening at the economy as large. You want to look at policies of government. You want to be acquainted with the policies of government that will affect your operation. So you are also delving out to have an idea of what is happening there. So your internal analysis is internal to look at your own capacity to know where your strengths are. But again, to So
Yes, sir.
to be able to compare what you are doing with what others are doing, you can't be comparing yourself with yourself now. I mean, even when you do internal, look at
Yes, sir.
look at typical look at the typical example I gave. Look at your when you get your result. When your result is released, I'm sure you will ask your friend, what did you have in this course? What
Yes,
did you
sir.
have
Yes,
in this
sir.
course? Sometimes you are happy.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes you are not happy that I didn't do it.
Yes,
So,
sir.
and that is to tell you that okay, I need to work hard so that I will get A as my friend also got an A. So that's the sense behind it.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. Bisola, do you have a question? I can see your hand.
No, sir. You muted me before, so I can't hear you. Can't hear me, sir. But it's done now.
Okay, all right. Sorry. Okay, I think you are done. I don't think there's any other hand up. So let's say thank you for being part of our interaction today.
Hello, sir.
Bisola,
Happy birthday, sir.
thank you.
Class, you can wish Daddy happy birthday in advance. Class.
Okay.
Everybody, Tijapa.
They are still there. They are there. I think you muted everybody.
Well, I've also told my system to okay. Happy birthday, sir.
Happy birthday, Advance. Where's the location? Where's the location? Sir, where's the location, sir?
Happy birthday, sir.
More blessings, sir. More blessings, sir.
I appreciate all of you. God bless you.
Please, I want to ask a question. Happy birthday, sir. Happy birthday, sir.
Okay.
Happy birthday, sir. Please, I want to ask a question.
Thank you. God bless you. Thank you.
You can ask your question. Ask your question. Ask your question.
Please, all those external analysis. Please, is it possible for you to state the factors?
If you look at our last teaching, our last interaction, if you go back to it, you will see we talk of external analysis as economic. When you talk of economics, you talk of government. You talk of several factors such as economic, political environment,
technology,
economic environment, information technology environment. All of those are external environment that you also require in managing your organization. Political environment. Now, when there were problems yesterday, many businesses were disrupted. That's a political. That's a kind of political environment. As a result of stabilization, money, many people lost a number of things yesterday. So, and what is happening like that, those are things that is outside the control of an organization. Some staff are going to work, they were not able to get to work yesterday, so they will lose customers. Those are external environment that cannot be controlled by the organization. Thank you very much for.
Okay, sir. Thank you for the explanation.
have a wonderful day, sir. Have a wonderful day. Happy weekend, everybody.
Happy birthday, sir.
Yeah.
Our next lecture is tomorrow. o'clock.
Good day,
I'll
sir.
send the link later.
4 o'clock, no wahala, no wahala. Mo go watch match, mo go watch match. Mo go watch ball.